Preon is a revolutionary CDP lending protocol that uses the best of DeFi to make yield farming, leveraging, and governance more rewarding. Users will be able to deposit ETH as collateral into a trove to borrow the STAR stablecoin at zero interest to then use in other yield farming strategies and/or to leverage. In the future, we will be able to scale beyond ETH into other collateral options. In time, the deposited collateral can itself be used in yield farming strategies to provide further yield to both the depositor and to Preon. Preon has a governance token, also called Preon, that will have VE voting power and the ability to earn revenue, including deposit, mint, and withdrawal fees, as well as performance fees on yield. Both STAR and Preon will be cross-chain compatible as omni-chain fungible tokens, or OFTs, through Layer 0, allowing for effortless scaling. In time, this will allow users to mint STAR on over 20 chains seamlessly. For example, a user could provide ETH as collateral to a trove on Arbitrum while minting STAR on Polygon and vice versa. This eliminates the need for multiple token wrappers and eliminates bridging risk, simplifying the protocol and enhancing security for users. Within this, each STAR stablecoin will be backed by a greater value of collateral, where there is always more than $1 of collateral per one STAR token. This also enables arbitrage to help maintain the peg, whereby if STAR goes below peg, then borrowers can repay their loan at a discount, and if STAR goes above peg, then borrowers can open a trove to mint STAR and sell it at a premium. Now, where Preon begins to truly stand out is that Preon will also have farming gauges. Users will be able to deposit LP tokens to earn yield in OPreon emissions. OPreon is a type of bond token that functions as a call option for Preon. OPreon itself cannot be sold. Rather, users will be able to use OPreon and ETH to redeem for Preon at a discount to the market. For example, if a user yield farms and earns $70 worth of OPreon, then they will be able to use $70 worth of ETH to redeem for $100 worth of Preon, turning a $30 profit in this example. This means that Preon token sales still benefit the protocol as a whole, as it introduces another yield source in ETH for Preon governance holders. Another way of looking at this OPreon to Preon redemption system is that instead of giving away tokens for free, as is the case for regular liquidity mining, liquidity incentivization with OPreon becomes a continuous token sale that benefits yield farmers and Preon. Now remember that I mentioned that users will be able to deposit LP tokens into farm gauges to earn OPreon emission yield. The only criteria to earn emissions is that these LPs must consist of a token paired with STAR. This means that in order for protocols to earn from gauges, STAR must be minted. Additionally, any bribes in Preon also de facto bribe STAR liquidity, making STAR highly incentivized and liquid. This allows any DEX or platform to participate in Preon, and since the depositing token is an LP, the yield from the underlying DEX, including any swap fees and relevant emissions, are still earned by yield farmers in addition to OPreon emissions. This also means that DEXs with unfavorable price execution compared to other DEXs can still accrue yield towards their LPs by bribing Preon governance holders. I've mentioned that Preon governance holders will receive revenue from Preon and bribes. In order to become a Preon governance holder, users will need to lock an 80/20 Preon LP into VE Preon for as short as 1 week or as long as 1 year, with increasing benefits for longer lock durations. The 80-20 LP model for VE33 is preferable over single-sided VE staking because instead of paying lockers for their promise to not sell during the locking period, LP VE33 lockers provide a valuable service to the platform when locking by helping Preon become more liquid. In return, as mentioned, VE Preon holders earn real yield from Preon, including protocol fees such as minting and withdrawal fees, yield from permissioned liquidations, ETH from Preon call options, and bribe revenue. VE Preon yield is real yield and is non-inflationary, as yield is distributed as star, ETH, and bribes. VE Preon holders also earn boosted Preon yield on gauges. So when a user holds VE Preon and deposits an LP into Preon's farms, they will earn boosted Preon emissions, giving further value to VE Preon. Please note that this boost has a linear decay, such that when a user stops relocking their VE Preon, their Preon emission boost begins to decay linearly down to a 0% boost at the time of unlock. This introduces anti-mercenary liquidity mechanisms, as users will need VE Preon to earn boosted Preon emissions, and users will need to use ETH to redeem their Preon before selling Preon. Now we know that Preon is part of the Sphere ecosystem, so let's talk about some of the ways that Preon enhances Sphere and vice versa. First off, Dyson and therefore Sphere have been accruing governance over multiple dexes across multiple chains through Dyson's liquid wrapper solutions. This will allow Sphere to bootstrap star yield and liquidity across the DeFi space using these governance holdings. Moving beyond that, things get very interesting. With the help of Dyson, Preon can introduce a new auto-bribing solution for specific LPs. We know that LP gauges on Preon will be boosted based on a holder's VE Preon position. However, specific select gauges will be gated by Preon, such that everyone earns the full boost at all times regardless of VE Preon holdings. For example, let's consider star Uniswap v3 liquidity that is managed via Dyson, such as a star ETH Uniswap v3 LP. With these types of pools, the swap fees from that Uniswap v3 position will be redirected to Preon as auto bribes for VE Preon holders. This will incentivize votes to drive Preon emissions to that gauge. And again, since these types of gauges will be special, all users will earn the fully boosted Preon emissions for these gauges. This acts as compensation against impermanent loss on concentrated liquidity LPs and amplifies yields, thanks to $1 in bribes typically providing more than $1 in emission yield. So if a Uniswap v3 LP earns $100 in swap fees that are then directed to bribes, the subsequent VE Preon votes will typically result in more than $100 in yield. This also supports VE Preon as a governance token through automatic bribes and introduces capital efficiency for the Sphere ecosystem with automatically incentivized Dyson TVL. But this auto-bribe solution is not restricted to Dyson and can be utilized for other concentrated liquidity solutions as well, such as Gamma, DeFi Edge, and StakeHut, to name a few. Gated gauges also allow for auto-bribe compatibility with rebase pools. So Preon allows protocols and dexes without emission incentives, such as Uniswap, to build gauges with star to earn Preon emissions. Essentially, any and all dexes with ERC20 compatibility can build on top of these gauges, and again, Since $1 in bribes typically provides more than $1 in emission yield, there is incentive to do so to make liquidity a more productive asset. This introduces a new model for bribing in DeFi. Not only will protocols be interested in bribing their liquidity through Preon, but also DEXs can now participate in bribing since Preon's gauges are for LPs and are therefore DEX specific. Protocols will be interested in bribing VE Preon holders to deepen their liquidity and earn a profit from OPreon emissions, and DEXs will be interested in bribing to deepen their TVL and therefore swap volume, and to reduce the burden of needing to use their own DEX's emission token as a sole means of incentivizing liquidity. With compatibility, synergy, and incentives for multiple pools from multiple DEXs and protocols on multiple chains, STAR becomes an increasingly resilient and liquid stablecoin. And again, being within the Sphere ecosystem, there are further benefits for Sphere. Sphere as a protocol will receive an initial allocation of Preon tokens, allowing Sphere to opt in to provide 80/20 liquidity for VE Preon. This will give Sphere the ability to vote and earn through Preon. In the future, VE Spherians will have power over the Sphere Treasury's meta governance, including VE Preon. Another example of the synergies of the Sphere ecosystem are boosted balancer pools through Dyson. For example, a STAR plus boosted Dyson USDC LP. Sphere is building a special Dyson vault for boosted pools to route that USDC, for example, that is in the LP and yield farm it on different platforms, including Sphere Lend. That yield will then go to help incentivize more liquidity for that balancer pool via bribes. Similarly, the ETH collateral on Preon can be directed to special vaults on Dyson and farmed on different platforms to generate yield. Therefore, Preon's growth will also help Sphere Lend's growth by providing liquidity for lending. This also means more yield for VE Sphere via performance fees, more yield for VE Preon via revenue and bribes, more yield for Preon's yield farmers thanks to auto-bribed votes, and more yield for Preon borrowers thanks to the yield farming of deposited collateral. In addition, we plan to improve the peg of STAR via a concentrated liquidity vault on Dyson. For example, having a Uniswap v3 STAR vault where, let's say, 90% of the liquidity is in a tight range around $1 and the remaining 10% of liquidity is spread out across the entire 0 to infinity range. This will make it more difficult for flash loan attacks to change the price of STAR, and will improve price oracles to better allow other platforms to integrate STAR as a reliable and battle-tested stablecoin. Hopefully now you can begin to see how the Sphere ecosystem is starting to come together. Feel free to rewatch this video if there are elements that you do not understand. Either way, do not worry, because we will continue to provide educational content to help improve your understanding. As always, Sphere is working to provide everything that you need within one ecosystem: lending, borrowing, auto-compounding, and more. Congratulations to the 5 lucky winners of the AMA giveaway. Don't worry if you did not win, because we will be rewarding more Preon-related events, so stay tuned. We also plan to have a Preon token pre-sale, open first to Spherians and then to the broader community, with Preon's launch potentially planned for Q2 or Q3 of 2023. So be sure to join our Discord and follow us on Twitter to stay up to date on announcements and join our community. This video and channel is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence in order to make sound financial decisions. Thanks for watching, and always remember, that you matter for who you are. And to reduce the burden of needing to use their own DEX's emission